Welcome to Touching Life Deeply. This research series is published on the channel at 8:00 p.m.
And hello, everyone. A warm greeting from me, too. It's great to have you with us.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving into something, well, pretty incredible, the human body's own power to heal and regenerate. We've looked through a bunch of recent research articles you shared, and our goal here is to explore how this all works, this biological magic, and also how you can help your body do its job even better.
It really is fascinating. It's like this intricate symphony of processes all working together, constantly keeping us going. Way more complex than we usually think about.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. You get a cut, maybe a bruise. What happens first? The body jumps into action.
Right.
And often, the first sign is, well, it's not fun. Inflammation.
Yeah, but it's absolutely vital. That's the first response. When there's damage or invaders, specialized white blood cells head straight there.
They flood the zone, basically.
Kind of. They release chemicals that increase blood flow. That's the redness and heat you feel. And they make the blood vessels leakier so more healing cells can get in.
So that causes the swelling and pain, I guess.
It does. But think of it like the body's emergency alert and the first responders arriving on scene. It sets up a barrier, protects the area, and gets it ready for cleanup and repair.
Uncomfortable, but crucial.
Got it.
Got it. And while that's happening, there's deeper stuff going on too, right? Cell regeneration.
Exactly. Our bodies are constantly renewing themselves. Old cells, damaged cells, they get replaced. Your skin is a great example, always shedding and rebuilding.
Right, I forget about that.
And some organs are just amazing regenerators. The liver, for instance, can regrow a huge amount of itself if it's damaged or part is removed.
Wow. And another immediate thing we see is clotting, like with a cut.
Right away. Tiny things in your blood called platelets rush to the spot and clump together, forming a plug.
Stops the bleeding.
Stops the bleeding, yeah. But it also creates this sort of natural bandage, eventually a scab, that protects everything underneath while the real repair work starts. Keeps germs out, keeps the area stable.
So, okay, you've got inflammation, cell turnover, clotting, but running the whole show, coordinating everything, that's the immune system.
Absolutely. You can't separate healing from the immune system. It's this network of cells, macrophages, neutrophils, lymphocytes, different kinds of white blood cells.
Patrolling the body.
Constantly patrolling, identifying anything that shouldn't be there, germs, toxins, even our own cells if they go wrong, and taking them out.
And the amazing part, for me, is that it learns. It has memory.
It does. That's the lymphocytes, specifically memory cells. Once they've dealt with a certain bug, they remember it.
So next time it shows up.
Exactly. They launch a much faster, stronger attack, often wipes it out before you even know you were exposed again. It's pretty smart.
And this links back to inflammation, doesn't it?
Directly. The inflammation is largely caused by the immune cells doing their job at the site of injury or infection. They're not just fighting, they're cleaning up debris, removing damaged bits, and signaling for repair materials.
A coordinated effort. Protect, clear, rebuild.
That's it.
Okay, it's an incredible toolkit we have built in. So that's the what. Now the big question, how do we help it? What does this system need from us?
Well, the research is really clear on this. Two fundamentals, good nutrition and enough rest. You need the building blocks.
The nutrients are the raw material.
Exactly. Bricks, mortar, tools, everything needed for cell repair. And building comes from what you eat.
And healing, especially a significant wound, really ramps up the body's needs, right?
Yeah.
Energy, specific nutrients.
Oh, definitely. The body goes into this high-gear metabolic state, what's called a catabolic phase. It starts breaking things down to send resources to the injury.
But if you don't provide enough fuel.
Then it starts breaking down its own tissues, like muscle, to get protein and energy. That leads to something called protein energy malnutrition, or PE.
And that's bad news for healing. Really sabotages it.
Totally. If your body's tearing down muscle for protein, it just doesn't have enough to build new tissue at the wound site, make collagen, support the immune response there. Healing grinds to a halt or slows way down. It really shows how vital fueling properly is during recovery.
Okay, so let's talk specifics. The research highlights key nutrients. Protein seems to be number one.
For sure. Protein is essential. Tissues, enzymes, immune cells, that collagen structure. It all needs protein. Not enough protein, and repair just stalls. Plus, you need enough overall calories so that protein gets used for building, not just burned for immediate energy.
Makes sense. What about fats?
Also important, they're a dense source of energy, which you need more of when healing. Plus, they play roles in managing inflammation. Think healthy oils, nuts, seeds, avocados, the fats in meat and dairy. Keeping your weight stable or gaining if you're underweight is helpful, and fat helps with that energy intake.
And specific amino acids. I saw L-arginine mentioned.
Yes. Arginine becomes conditionally essential during major healing. Your body needs much more of it than usual. It helps with wound strength, making new proteins, and even reducing muscle loss.
And then the vitamins and minerals, the specialized tools.
Great analogy. Vitamin C is a classic example. Absolutely critical for making collagen the glue that holds tissue together and forming new blood vessels in the healing area. Low C means slow, weak healing, and higher infection risk.
Where do we find that mainly? Citrus.
Citrus fruits, yeah. Berries, tomatoes, leafy greens, peppers. Lots of sources.
Okay. Vitamin A.
Vitamin A helps with that initial necessary inflammation and also with collagen. Low levels mean slower healing, more infections. You find it in things like milk, cheese, eggs, fish, and those bright orange, red, and dark green fruits and veggies. But you do need to be a bit careful with supplements. Too much can be toxic.
Right. Zinc comes up a lot too.
It does. Zinc's involved everywhere, it seems. For healing, it's needed for making proteins and collagen and for cells to grow and divide properly. Deficiency definitely slows healing and weakens the repair. Red meat, fish, shellfish, dairy, eggs are good sources.
And finally, iron for oxygen.
Exactly. Those hard-working repair cells need a ton of oxygen. Iron carries oxygen in your red blood cells. If you're low on iron or anemic, the healing tissue is basically starved for oxygen.
Which weakens the whole process.
Right. Impairs collagen production, reduces strength. So think red meat, organ meats, fish, eggs, but also wholemeal bread, dark leafy greens, dried fruit, nuts. It's about getting the right mix of these key players.
And this isn't just about patching up wounds, is it? Good nutrition supports the whole immune system day to day.
Absolutely. A diet full of whole foods, fruits, veggies, whole grains, like maybe a Mediterranean-style pattern, gives you antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, things like beta-carotene, vitamin C and E, polyphenols. These help keep your immune system balanced.
And the gut connection is fascinating. Diet affecting gut bacteria, which talk to the immune system.
It's a huge area of research. Your gut microbes are constantly communicating with your immune system. What you eat directly shapes that community of microbes. A healthy gut supports a healthy immune response, even in places like your lungs.
Whereas a diet high in processed stuff.
Tends to promote chronic, low-level inflammation all over the body. It's like background noise.
And that distracts the immune system, makes it less ready for real threats.
Precisely. So eating well does double duty. Provides the building blocks for repair and helps your immune system stay focused and effective. It's a definite win-win.
Okay, so fuel is critical. What else? Lifestyle seems huge in the research. Rest, for one.
Oh, rest is non-negotiable for recovery. You know, there's that saying, recovery is as important as treatment. It's true. Sleep, in particular, is prime repair time. Your body can focus energy on healing tissues when it's not dealing with being awake and active.
And there's a direct link between sleep and the immune system, isn't there? A two-way street.
Yes, very much so. When you're sick, your immune system releases things that make you feel tired and sleep more. It wants you to conserve energy. But flip it around, not getting enough sleep actually messes with your immune function.
Makes you more likely to catch something. Or take longer to get over it.
Both. Getting enough good quality sleep helps boost the number and activity of your immune cells. Studies link it to lower infection risk, better recovery if you do get sick, and even how well vaccines work for you. Chronic lack of sleep can actually promote that low-grade inflammation we talked about.
So, what helps? Simple things.
Yeah, often simple things. Having a regular bedtime routine, trying to keep the bedroom just for sleep and intimacy, consistency with sleep and wake times even on weekends, as much as possible. It makes a difference.
Then there's exercise. Seems counterintuitive if you're healing, maybe, but overall.
Overall, moderate, regular exercise is a powerful immune booster. It gets those protective cells circulating more, increases antibodies. The benefits are both immediate after a session and long-term with consistency.
What's the general advice? Like 30 minutes a day?
Around that, yeah. Maybe 30 minutes most days, say 5 times a week. Even 20 minutes daily is great if that's more manageable.
And for people who like concrete goals, steps are popular.
Steps are a great, simple measure of activity. Research links higher daily step counts to lower risks of dying from various causes like heart disease and cancer. And the good news is the benefits start piling up even when you just increase from a low level, like going from, say, 4,000 steps to 8,000. You don't have to hit 10,000 right away.
What about things like HIIT, high-intensity interval training?
HIAT is really efficient if you're short on time. It's basically short bursts of really intense effort, maybe 30 seconds to a couple of minutes, followed by rest or low-intensity recovery, then repeat.
And that works well.
It's very effective for improving fitness, helping muscles use oxygen better, and it can be good for reducing belly fat. Plus, you can adapt it to different fitness levels.
Okay, fuel, rest, movement. We have to talk about stress,
Yeah.
the elephant in the room for many of us.
Yeah, chronic stress is a major issue. It keeps your levels of the stress hormone cortisol high. And persistently high cortisol can actually suppress your immune system, making you more vulnerable.
So managing stress is part of supporting healing and immunity too.
Definitely. Finding ways to calm the stress response helps your immune system function better.
What kind of things work?
Lots of options. Things like consciously practicing positive self-talk, cultivating optimism or gratitude. Spending time in nature is well documented to lower stress hormones and inflammation markers. Engaging your senses, listening to music, smelling something nice, even helping others can shift your focus. And of course, seeking professional help when stress feels overwhelming is really important. It's about actively buffering stress.
Right, so we've got the body's basic tools, the immune system, how to fuel it, how lifestyle supports it. But the body can do even more amazing things, right? Actual regeneration.
Yeah, beyond just scarring over, we mentioned the liver. The lining of the uterus regenerates every cycle, and remarkably, fingertips in young children.
That fingertip thing is wild.
Right.
If they lose just the very tip and it's not stitched up with a flap.
It can often regrow completely, nail, fingerprint, everything, as long as it heals naturally. There was even that one case report suggesting a special powder derived from something called extracellular matrix helped an adult regenerate a fingertip. It hints at this potential we have.
And research is pushing into organs we didn't think could regenerate much, like the heart.
Exactly. We now know heart muscle cells, cardiomyocytes, do actually renew themselves, just very slowly throughout life.
Slowly, but it happens.
Right, so now researchers are trying to figure out how to boost that after, say, a heart attack, maybe using specific drugs or different kinds of stem cells or progenitor cells that can become heart cells.
Or even reprogramming other cells.
That's the really cutting-edge stuff, trying to coax other cells already in the heart, like fibroblasts, the connective tissue cells, to actually turn into beating heart muscle cells. It's pretty mind-bending.
And this isn't just the heart. Kidneys, lungs, too.
There's work there, too. Kidney tubules can regenerate after certain injuries, possibly involving kidney stem cells. For lungs, people are experimenting with using decellularized scaffolds. Basically, the lung's natural structure stripped of its original cells and then seeding them with new cells. Some are even trying to grow whole lungs in the lab.
Wow, this sounds like tissue engineering.
That's exactly what it is. Regenerative medicine using tissue engineering. Creating scaffolds that mimic the body's own support structure, that extracellular matrix.
Giving the cells a framework to grow on.
Precisely. And using advanced methods like electrospinning or even 3D bioprinting to build these scaffolds and place specific cell types, skin cells, blood vessel cells, structural cells in the right places. The aim is to create bioactive scaffolds that don't just provide structure, but also release signals to guide the cells into forming functional tissue, building living parts, essentially.
Okay, this is all incredible biology. But there's another layer, isn't there? Something that connects all of this. The mind-body connection.
Yes. This idea, which feels ancient, but is getting real scientific backing, that your mind, your thoughts, beliefs, expectations can have a powerful effect on your physical body and health.
It's a big shift from just seeing the body as a machine separate from the mind.
Exactly. It's moving towards understanding it as one unified system. Like one researcher put it, wherever the mind is, so too will be the body. It suggests our beliefs about, say, aging or our own health can actually shape the physical reality.
The studies you shared were amazing. That one with the elderly man living as if they were 20 years younger.
Incredible, wasn't it? They were put in this environment, totally retrofitted to look and feel like it was 20 years earlier. They talked about the past in the present tense. And after just a week,
They showed real physical changes.
measurable improvements. Better vision, hearing, strength, memory. And people who saw photos of them before and after but didn't know about the study judged them as looking physically younger afterwards. All without any medical treatment, just a powerful shift in mindset and environment.
Then there was the chambermaid study. Women doing physically hard work, but not thinking of it as exercise.
Right. Half of them were simply told that their daily work activities actually met the guidelines for an active lifestyle. The other half weren't told anything different. Nobody changed their actual jobs or diets.
And the group who thought of their work as exercise
Showed physical changes. They lost weight, their waist-to-hip ratio improved, blood pressure dropped. Just because their perception of their activity changed, the mindset had a physical effect.
It makes you think about things like fatigue, too.
Absolutely. How tired we feel isn't just about physical depletion. There's a huge mental component. Think about feeling wiped out, then suddenly getting energy for something exciting. Our perceived limits are often shaped by our minds. Real limits exist, of course, but assuming them too early can hold us back.
And that borderline effect with diagnosis is striking. Being told you're pre-diabetic.
Right. Someone whose blood sugar is just over the line gets that label. Someone fractionally below is told they're fine. At that moment, their biology might be almost identical.
But the label makes a difference.
Studies suggest yes. The group labeled pre-diabetic is statistically more likely to actually develop diabetes later. It seems the label itself, the mindset, maybe the anxiety it creates, influences the physical progression. So when you pull all these threads together, the body's built-in repair kit, the immune system's role, how crucial nutrition and lifestyle are, the potential for regeneration, and then this powerful mind-body link.
What's the takeaway for you listening right now? It means your body is incredibly capable. It's not just passively waiting for things to go wrong. It's actively working to heal and maintain itself. And you play a huge role in that.
Exactly. By consciously choosing good fuel, prioritizing rest, moving your body regularly, managing stress, and importantly, cultivating a positive, empowered mindset about your health, you're not just a passenger. You're actively collaborating with your body's innate abilities.
These biological processes we've talked about, they aren't just happening to you. They're influenced by your choices, your habits, and even your perspective every single day. It gives you a lot of agency, doesn't it?
It really does.
So here's the final thought to leave you with. If our mindset, our beliefs can really impact our physical health in these ways affecting healing, aging, even disease progression, what are other things about our health, things we might think are fixed or inevitable, could we potentially influence just by changing how we think about them and how we think about ourselves? And finally, some of the information in this research episode has been compiled from public sources in scientific publications. We are not responsible for any misuse of the content beyond its intended purpose of education and raising awareness. Don't forget to follow Touching Life Deeply so you won't miss our next meaningful insights.